Hi everybody, it's JoJo, and I'm here to do a top 10 favorite TV shows of all time. So, before I get even started with it, this is going to be only TV shows, not reality shows. So I'm going to do my own separate video for reality shows, it's its own genre. And this is just strictly just TV shows. So TV shows that's scripted. That's literally TV shows. Okay. So I do have 10 here. Yes. Oh my god. It was really hard to do 10 because, I like TV, I like shows. It was very, very hard. But I did it. Definitely did it. I dropped my phone. Okay, I was getting my nails done. And I dropped my phone, not my nails, my toes. And I dropped my phone right in the tub. So my phone is broken now. So I might have to get a new phone. So that's why I don't have my phone with me to take notes. I have an actual piece of paper. It is what it is. There's a thing I can do. So I wrote down everything down. With that being said, let's get started. Okay. So number 10 is going to be a 90s classic, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I remember watching Buffy when, I was literally a little tyrant. I was a little kid, and I was watching that. I was 6, 7 years old watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, watching Sarah Michelle Gellar kick these vampire asses. That's what I was watching at 6. And I was so in love with the show. Like, I just love the show. I think I started watching it season 2 or 3. I don't remember. Like when I started watching it. It wasn't the beginning of this show. I remember I started watching it like second or third season. It was really good. I watched it up until it finished, and I just rewatched some episodes about 2 years ago. Again, I was rewatching some of the seasons, and I finally got to watch the first season for the first time ever, and I loved it. I loved the whole, it's all on Hulu, and I love the show. I do. It definitely it was better in the beginning. It got worse as the seasons went on, but it was a good show, so that's why it's number 10. Okay. Number 9 is Days of Our Lives. Girl. Days of Our Lives. So, Days of Our Lives... Days of Our Lives is a soap opera, right? Okay. So, it's number 9 because my mom and my grandma, I grew up watching Days of Our Lives with them. Like, they love the show. And I grew to love the show through them, and I still watch it. And it's number 9. I don't love it, but, like, because it gets stupid sometimes. Some things are really far-fetched, but there are things that I really do love about the show. And it's up and down. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not. It depends on what the storylines are in the moment. Right now, I'm only really interested in Allie's rape storyline with that guy Charlie. And I am interested to see why the British woman is so hell-bent to get Abigail and her family. Like, why does she hate them so much? She has a secret against them, and I want to know what it is. So, I do love Days of Our Lives. I could go on forever talking about this show because it's been on for hundreds of years, but I love the Salem Stalker serial killer storyline. That's when I really started falling in love with the show again. Or when I really started was that storyline. I was like, oh my god, I gotta watch this. But, there's so many good storylines, so many good moments that Days of Our Lives had. There's a lot of stupid moments, but a lot of good moments too. They had, the first gay couple, I think, ever on a soap opera. They had some good stuff. Anyways, so, I'm gonna try to, okay, because I was gonna put number 8, Smallville, because I did watch Smallville growing up a little bit. I did like Smallville, but I'm gonna take Smallville away. I realized the reason why I love Smallville so much wasn't because of the show itself, even though the show wasn't bad. It was more so because I loved Tom Welling. Like, I was in love with him. Like, I was, oh my god, like, he was the hottest thing on the face of the earth. So I love the show more because of him than the actual show. So I'm not going to put Smallville. But Smallville definitely wins for the hottest piece of ass ever as the lead. It's Smallville. But I'm not going to put Smallville on the list, so that's not on the list. Anyway, so number 8 is going to be Glee. Now, if Glee stayed consistent throughout the whole show, I would have had Glee really in the top 3, honestly. But because Glee got so bad after the second season, I can't put it any more further than 8. But I will say the first 2 seasons of Glee are like show-stopping, frigging earth-shattering type of like really good stuff. Really good stuff. Some of my best TV moments are in the first 2 seasons of Glee ever. But because it got so bad after the second season, it's not one of my favorites. It got so bad. As good as it was in the first 2 seasons, that's how bad it got in 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think it had like 6 seasons. It just got so bad. And then just so much drama and stuff happened. Like, rest in peace to everyone who passed on. Even the guy who played Puck. It was sad. It was tragic what happened to him and what we found out about him. Very tragic. Of course, Corey Monteith, who played Finn, died during the show. Then you had, just recently, who played Santana, died and drowned in the lake. So it's really sad what happened to some of the Glee co-stars. But listen, the show itself was really good. Like, I loved Lea Michele. I loved what's his name? The one who played the gay one. I forgot what it is. I can't believe I forgot his name. I haven't really Kurt Hummel. I loved Kurt Hummel. And they had so many great characters, so many great moments. Glee is definitely number 8 for me. I do love Glee. I do love Glee. Glee. Listen, the first 2 seasons are so good that it kind of, sometimes to me, it overshadows the other horrible seasons, but... And I love the music. Like, I have, like, so much music on my iPhone with Glee. I love the Glee soundtracks. Number 7 is kind of the same story as Glee, but it's not as bad. So, Horror Story. I loved the first few seasons of Horror Story. Then it got stupid and bad. So that's why it's not higher up on the list. But the first, I would say, 4 seasons of Horror Story were, like, really good. My favorite's still My favorite's still Murder House, then Freak Show, then Asylum, and then I like, A Coven. But that's it. I guess that's with a lot of shows. The first few seasons are always the best, then they get stupid. But I still like and enjoy Horror Story. I did not like the last few seasons. I don't know if it's ever going to get as good as it was the first 4 seasons. I hope it does. But so far it hasn't. So, yeah. So that's that. So, Horror Story is ranking at number 7. I did a whole video of, like, my favorite seasons of Horror Story on my channel, so go check that out. That I already did, so I didn't even talk that much about Horror Story right now, but that's number 7. Number 6 is 13 Reasons Why. So number 6 is 13 Reasons Why. Now, I really liked 13 Reasons Why. I know it only had 4 seasons, but I really liked the first 3 seasons. The 4th season wasn't that good. They had good moments, but overall the 4th season was not good. However, I don't think anything could beat the first season. Again, I have a whole video talking about 13 Reasons Why too, so I don't need to talk about that one either. But that is ranking at number 6 for me. I do think it's ahead of Horror Story only because 13 Reasons Why just has better moments for me. Like, I feel like Horror Story has so many friggin' seasons, and I feel like if 13 Reasons had so many seasons, they would have some seasons would have been better if it still progressed. But because it has shorter amount of seasons of Horror Story and it had like a smaller platform, I'm giving 13 Reasons Why number 6 because let me tell you, that first season itself is like, I mean, it I still get goosebumps watching that first season. Like, it really does. The second season was also really good, and the third season was different, but I liked it. Then the fourth season went downhill, but it went downhill fast for the fourth season. It did. I liked it, but there was a real big problem with the fourth season that really was different than the first three. For me, and the first one's always going to be the best. But that's what all these shows. The first few seasons are always the best. I mean, that's just what it is. Okay. However, number 5 is actually... Well, now that we're getting into the top 5, and none of these shows have bad seasons in my eyes. For my top 5 favorite shows of all time. 6 through 10 has bad seasons. 5 through 1 does not. Number 5 is Friends. So that's a comedy, a sitcom. I did not watch it until... I saw episodes here and there, of course, but I didn't actually sit down and watch the whole series and binge watch the whole series until it came on Netflix 3 years ago. So I finally saw the whole series 3 years ago on Netflix, and I fell in love. It was so funny. I just love the whole thing about it. It has 10 seasons, so it's a long show, but it's honestly not one bad season, honestly. It's like that good. Like, every episode is so funny. I feel like there's not one bad episode. Like that show could have still went on to this day because, like, it's just so friggin' funny. Like, it was just, like, didn't have any... And it's very rare for a show not to have, like, a bad season, but it had, like, no bad seasons. And, like, where did it start? 1994 to, what, 2004? So, yeah, it was a long run they did. I remember watching the series finale with my grandparents. And that was, I think, like, the first episode I really watched was the series finale, surprisingly enough. But I actually forgot about the series finale by the time I watched it 3 years ago. Because the series finale aired in 2004. I watched the whole series finally, 3 years ago, so 2017. So, yeah, so that's that. So, Friends is definitely number 5. And that show skyrocketed all their careers. Jennifer Aniston... Chandler Massey. I mean, there's so many of them. The one who plays in Scream, who plays Courtney Cox. Oh, is Courtney Cox her actual name? Yeah, Courtney Cox, I think, is her actual name. Gail Weathers is who she plays in Scream. I'm so stupid. Okay, anyways. Number 4 is Roseanne, another 90s sitcom. Roseanne Barr. She'll always be timeless to me. Again, same story. I didn't watch the full series until later on. But, of course, in the 90s and everything, I watched episodes here and there with my mom. And just when it was on TV, I watched it. But I didn't actually sit down and watch the whole series until years later. And it was great. It was great. Again, not one bad season. Not one bad episode. It really stands the test of time, this show. Like, it's so funny, so good, so different, so unique. I did like the reboot. I still don't think that she should have gotten fired for what she said. I think that she should have been, I don't know. I feel like what she did was wrong, but I feel like Roseanne's not Roseanne without Roseanne. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're going to fire her, then just stop the show. And they continued on with the show, and it's not as good, so... You know, but Roseanne is so funny. Like, the original, oh my god, I think that show had, 9 seasons? I think I had 9 seasons, yeah. And then it wasn't really a reboot because they continued on with the show years later when it came out with a reboot a few years ago. And then made, the 10th season. So it was the 9th season ended in the late 90s, and the 10th season began a few years ago, so. But yeah, it was really good. Anyways... Now, time for my top 3. I don't know if you guys can guess my top 3, but this is number 3. Of course, I got DVDs of my top 4. So Roseanne, and then my top 3. Okay. Girl. My number 3 favorite is The Nanny with Fran Drescher, bitch. It is the funniest fucking thing. I love The Nanny. I think it's the funniest sitcom ever. and I was in love with it. I watched so many episodes in the 90s, but I didn't actually sit down and watch the entire series until I got the DVD like 5, 6 years ago, and then I really sat down and watched the whole thing, and oh my god, it was like, I needed like a glass of water and someone to fan me because I was like literally in tears laughing. I love the nanny. Like, I just love the whole concept. She lives in with this. She lives with the kids to take care of them, but she's not the typical nanny. Like, she's very like bougie and, you know, all about fashion and clothes and makeup, and like she basically takes care of the kids 10% of the time. The other 90% she is there taking care of herself, getting her nails done, getting her hair done, you know, all that. She's so funny. So number 3 is Nanny. Number 2 is Once Upon a Time. I love Once Upon a Time. It had 6 seasons. I do have to say, the first few seasons were better than the last few, but I don't think they really ever had a bad season. I wouldn't say a bad season. It just wasn't as good as the original seasons. But I wouldn't say they had a bad season. I think the worst season is definitely the last season, the 6th season. But like, oh no, excuse me, they had 7 seasons. Okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you guys. Okay, so I don't consider the 7th season of Once Upon a Time a season. I have yet to still watch the 7th season, surprisingly enough. I know it's number 2. The reason why I don't have it in, okay, I never watched it, was because they kind of rebooted the series in season 7. It was kind of like a whole different thing. So I don't really consider the 7th season Once Upon a Time. So that's why I didn't really watch it. But, and also, they really had a series finale in season 6. Like, they ended the show with a good series finale. So they didn't really need to have season 7. But they did. And they rebooted it and kind of did a whole new thing. But it didn't do so good. But anyways, Once Upon a Time itself was so good. Like, I loved the concept. I loved the Disney characters. I loved everything about the goddamn show. I loved every season. Every season up until 7th season, obviously, is what I just said. I mean, I don't really pinch this 7th season. But the first 6 seasons, I loved all of them. The worst season for me was the last one, which was the 6th season. But, I still love the 6th season. Like, I loved all of it. I really did. I mean, my favorite seasons are definitely the first 2, but, like, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th are still really good. Like, I do think they had different, like, I don't know, like, my least favorite, like, subplot story was probably The Sword and the Stone. Was probably, like, my least favorite, like, what's the word? Like, yeah, subplot story, whatever you want to call it. Like, that is, like, my least favorite was The Sword and the Stone. But then they had, like, and that was in the 5th season, but then they had my favorite, like, storyline. Like, one of my favorite storylines was the 5th season, which was the Hercules, Hades, Underworld storyline. So it's, like, the 5th season had one of my worst, like, storyline, like, episodes. And then, but it also had one of my favorites with the Underworld. So the 5th season's, like, half and half for me. Because it's, like, I loved it, but then I didn't because I didn't like the first half, but I loved the second half. But yeah, Once Upon a Time, maybe. Number 1, I don't think anything could beat this one, honestly. I think this is always going to... I probably watched... I would say Once Upon a Time. I probably watched every episode of Once Upon a Time at least 10 times. This number 1, which is That's So Motherfucking Raven, bitch, from Disney Channel. I probably watched every episode of That's So Raven about 1,000,000 times. They had 4 seasons and spanned 100 episodes. It was... I don't think any show could beat That's So Raven. Ever. I don't think anything could beat That's So Raven with Raven-Symoné. I really don't think. I've yet to seen it. Once Upon a Time has come close, I will say, but it's still not as good as That's So Raven. I don't know. There's something about That's So Raven that's extra special. It's funny, it's witty. I loved everything about the characters, the episodes, everything. It made me fall in love with Disney Channel. Disney Channel is not the same at all when it comes to shows and movies and anything like that, but they really hit the nail on the head when it came to That's So Motherfucking Raven, bitch. I have to say motherfucking in it because it's, like, that good. Now, they have a spin-off, like a lot of these do, which is called Raven's Home, and it's not as good. It's really not. I don't like it. But, still, and nothing could beat That's So Raven, but Raven's home is a mess. But That's So Raven, like, whoa, like, I still get, like, I just rewatched every single episode again for the millionth time, like, not too long ago, and I was, like, in love again. Like, I fall in love every time I watch it. It's, like, I laugh, I cry. I mean, this series is so good. Like, just everything about it, like, is, like, we do not deserve That's a Raven. Like, we don't deserve it. Like, it's, like, that good. Anyways, that is my top 10 favorite TV shows of all time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what yours is down below. What TV shows you love. And again, I will do a totally separate video for reality shows. So, don't forget, I don't think I forgot about reality shows. You know I love my reality TV. So, but that's going to be its own genre. So, I'm going to do a whole other video with my top 10 favorite reality shows of all time. So, that should be coming up soon. Yeah. I have on Be Enchanted today for cream. This is the cream I'm using up currently. Oh my god. Jeez, I'm gonna take a big gulp, girl. I do want to talk really quickly, just for like a minute, about Trisha Paytas and Jeffree Star, the whole deal with them. Listen, I'm not in love with Jeffree Star. I'm a huge fan of him like I used to be. I'm not. I love his makeup, but him in general, personally, I'm not a fan anymore. Just basically his makeup I'm a fan of. But I don't like the way everything's coming out with Trisha. Trisha's saying she was bullied on this Vegas trip a year ago. I understand where everyone's coming from because she had mixed emotions about it. First she said, oh no, it's not true, nothing happened in Vegas. Now she's saying she was traumatized and they bullied her and all this stuff. It's hard to believe anything that comes out of her mouth, but I do believe that she was afraid to come forward in the beginning. And then now she finally came forward and talked about it. So, I feel bad. I do believe it, and if it is all true, Jeffree, and the Hair by Jay, his hairstylist, whatever the hell it was, that was also in on this bullying her about calling her fat or whatever it was. I mean that video. I mean, shame on Jeffree, really. I mean that's horrible, but that video that she posted of her hysterically crying, that was like, oh my god, like that touched me. I felt so bad for her. But, I mean, it is what it is. At this point, it's like all this shit keeps coming out. I can never say I'm a fan of Jeffree Star anymore. I'm not. I'm really not. But, I'll always love his makeup. But him, not so much anymore. And that was before the stuff with Trisha even came out. But the stuff with Trisha just kind of was like, it kind of made me like, really, like, this is what you did to one of your friends. He says that he's apologized and whatever, and he feels bad, but, there's just so many apologies and so many times you're gonna say you feel bad for it's like the boy who cried wolf. Do you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. Anyways, I love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys, in a little bit. See you in the next one. Bye.